Hello, my name is WeeklyFreak976, of course. I've been noticing there's kind of like a little cancer on this website, YouTube. It all started when I happened to challenge a man named Rocking Mr. E, who I used to be subscribed to, I am ashamed to say. But this tool is a part of a group called the MRA. I really didn't know that they existed that much. I don't hear much about them. But they're called the Men's Right Association. Now, I'm all for equal rights for men and women, both. I know I categorize myself as a male feminist, but I would not be object to call myself a Men's Right Association person either, if these people were actually for equal rights. Maybe at one time they were. But what I see nowadays is, let's blame women for everything. Let's blame women for all the faults of men. You're no different than the radical feminists from the 70s and stuff who used to blame men for everything. Remember them? Yeah, I remember them. Remember that, Michael, you weren't born until 76. I know, but the bitter aftertaste was still in the 80s and stuff. So I had, my brother and I had to deal with them some. Trust me. My brother tried to help a woman one time at Target because that was his job. She was going out to her car. He went out there to try to help her and stuff, and she said some of the most vulgar things to my brother, cussing him out and stuff, just because he was a man. So yes, for all you idiots, MRA people who think I'm anti-man, I'm not. But, demonizing women doesn't help. Trivializing their problems doesn't help. How are you helping men? Ask me that. What are you doing, besides trying to blame women for everything, to help men? In state, because Rocking Mr. E always says, in states with Karl Marx, Marxism, feminism, that's what feminism is. Let me tell you something right now, bucko. In countries that use more socialist policies, and states that use more, blue states that use more progressive policies, men have more rights. Some of the most fairest states, and I will put the links up to this, about divorce and about children and stuff, belong to the men, belong in blue states. Now, yes, Texas is one of the few states that's red that actually does do a good job. Like if you get divorced and stuff, and you can get the children and stuff if you have a prenup and stuff. But usually, red states are the worst. Trust me, I have lived in red states my whole life, and all I see is men getting screwed by red state policies. And yet, what do the men do? They continue to vote Republican and red state because they honestly think like you, Rocking Mr. E. Marxism is the cause of feminism, which is the cause of all of the problems for men. So, seriously, dude. Sorry. I couldn't resist. But this guy is a complete joke. I'm going to put a link to his video below, to his YouTube page. Please feel free to give him a visit because the guy's an utter joke. But what are you doing to address the problems that men face? What are you doing to address the problem that, yes, education for young men has been cut, and funding that has been shifted more to women? Yes. You know who actually did an article on that? And I wish I had the link, but I read it in a magazine. I read it in Newsweek. Feminist! Modern sex-positive feminists who are trying to help men be equal in education. Newsweek was the only people who did a damn article on it. Where are you guys who, when men want to act more sensitive and stuff, because we do have sensitive feelings. We do feel and stuff. And yet we get called names and stuff. Well, where are you guys? What about equal rights for men, right? If a woman has a right to cry and pour her heart out, and everybody goes, oh, bless her heart, shouldn't they say that for the man too? Equal rights. Instead, you give them a name and call them a mangina. That's pulling them back. Not moving them forward. This is really all about setting the cultural time shift back. That's really all it's about. You want women barefoot pregnant in the kitchen and tell them, shut your damn mouth, woman, and get me a goddamn sandwich, bump. That's exactly what it's all about. It has nothing to do with equal rights. That's a smokescreen. This is really all about you telling women what to do. It's all about control. It's all about the man being at the top, the patriarch, then the woman, and then the children. Know your place, woman. Right? You let your feminist boss men around. Yes, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Unless you're trying to help somebody, and you're taking control, like let me help you get off of drug addiction, and you take control and everything, that's different. But if you're just outright controlling someone, I don't give a damn if you're a man or a woman, it is sexist. What about equal partnership, right? But the Men's Rights Association is not for that. You go around and blame women for everything, but maybe men ought to be held accountable too. Yes, if a woman does something wrong, she should be held accountable. What about if a man does do something wrong? That's something you guys don't take into account now, is it? Believe me, men aren't perfect, men aren't saints. And we need to be held accountable when we do something wrong, just as much as women need to be held accountable when they do something wrong. You say women cheat. Yes, they do. So do men. You say women hit men and abuse them. Yes, they do. But so do men. Men do it more. Women rape men. Some, yes. But sadly, for my gender, well, I don't wish rape on anybody. But I'm just saying that majority of the rape is done man to woman. Facts are facts. Deal with them. The MRA is a cancer. It's holding men back. If a man wants to cry, let him cry. Do not put him down. Support him. If he wants to treat his woman like a queen, and yet she treats him like a king, and they have a great relationship. I happen to think that I treat my woman like a queen. And you know what? She gives me just as much, like she does, love that I give her. She looks at me as her equal. We do have a good relationship. So screw you, Rockin' Mr. E, and screw you, MRA. Like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit I cry. I'm not ashamed to show my feelings. I'm not ashamed to say that I do not get scared or intimidated by a strong woman. I do not get scared or intimidated by a successful woman. Instead of being intimidated, why don't you say, you go girl, you worked for it, you worked hard, unless she didn't. But if she really worked her butt off and everything, don't just sit there and go, yeah, she probably had the affirmative action. What if she really did work her butt off to get where she is? And sometimes women have to work harder because they have a lot more to prove. So the MRA is a cancer. Get rid of it. Do chemotherapy on it, men. Let's get rid of this shit once and for all, and that's the truth.